Going live. Woo! We're live.
Live.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. I think it is Monday. It's very dreary here. And as you can see, it is not Seth. It is Adam.
Hello, everybody.
Yes, we are happy that you're joining us. We have Vince that says Happy Valentine's Day to our favorite couple, us. Yes, it is Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We're going to Mean Girls the musical tomorrow too.
Yes. I'm very excited. We have Derek's Hose Corner, Blossom Michelangelo, My Little Pony, Vince, oops, that's Wood Dragon 2012. Yes, I think this year's Year of the Dragon. I don't know. I get my Lunar New Year news from Disneyland. So
best source.
Yes. So without any further ado, are you ready to do this?
I am very ready. Let's do it.
Yes.
Please lower your head and watch your step while boarding.
Welcome to the Attractions Podcast. You are all clear for dispatch. Have fun.
Of the Attractions Podcast, sponsored by MEI and MEI-Travel. I'm Carly.
And I'm Adam.
Yes, and we are here to talk to you about the latest and greatest in all the beautiful theme park news happening this week, and just a little bit more about, what we're up to. Adam, we did something a little fun this weekend, didn't we?
We did, and it's been a while. We went to the Smoky Mountains, and typically when we go is when Dollywood's open. It's not open yet. But we just had that classic Smoky Mountain experience. There was a little moonshine. There was a lot of fun.
Yes.
To be had.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Dollywood opens for the season, I believe March 8th. We'll be back for that. But there's just something so charming about going to the Smoky Mountains. I think in the winter when it's a little bit colder, even though it wasn't cold this weekend, I think we were like sweatshirts. It is just such a fun place. And, it's so kitschy. Mm-hmm. But there's so many good little gems. There's restaurants, and there's just really great people there. I love going there.
Yeah, it's and we did Friday in Pigeon Forge, and then drove through the Smoky Mountain National Park and did Gatlinburg on Saturday. And I think all of Smoky Mountains and theme parks kind of go hand in hand, where if you like theme parks, you're going to love everything in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, we got that kitschiness, we got that earthquake, the ride, which we will never do again.
Doing that ever again.
Maybe the world's worst. Can I even call it a simulator attraction? It's not even really an attraction.
Yeah, you want to know what an earthquake is like? Don't go to Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Yeah, and we have the Jurassic boat ride. All these things. They're very expensive, but they're like little time capsules. It's literally like traveling back in time when you go there, mixed with all the buildup and new stuff. Dollywood's closed, but the hotels are open year round. So we popped into Heartsong, which is the new Dollywood resort, which we stayed at and loved. We went there just to get a coffee and just kind of sit. It's like Wilderness Lodge, but brand new / like very Smoky Mountain-ish. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. And if you want a good time to just sort of see the resort when it's really calm, off season is definitely the way to go. I think we saw 3 people the entire time.
Yes. And we discovered, which we thought was true the last time, but there's one of the outdoor pools is like a super big hot tub, and it's open year round.
Yeah.
So a lot of pools are like that in the Smoky Mountains because people are quite ambitious. But if you want to go there's an indoor pool, outdoor pool, great restaurants. There's cinnamon bread year round, so you don't have to go into the park. They do have it at the little cafe there, but it is such a wonderful time, and I highly recommend visiting in the off season. It's also a little bit more affordable, I will say, because the hotels there have gotten quite expensive as it's becoming kind of this national tourist destination.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of fun.
Okay. So without any further ado, let's get into this week's news in the queue. This week, we are starting off in Orlando, something that you and I were just talking about, but it's the SeaWorld Orlando 7 Seas Food Festival. This is food, concerts, drinks, the whole 9 yards. The Orlando theme park has really been hyping up all their food festivals. They've been doing it for a long time in the game, just like, Epcot, just like Universal Orlando, but they're really kind of churning out these large scale events. And this is just like the rest of them, international cuisine. Everything's included in admission, but you just have to purchase the small plates and specialty drinks. The booths are open Thursdays through Sundays. And then also what we were excited about is the concert lineup.
Yes. We happen to both be very big fans of Hanson. And Hanson, who usually plays Epcot Food and Wine Fest, are playing during the winter this year at SeaWorld. So I think this is going to be really hard because we were going to go to Bare Naked Ladies at Universal, who I also love. But now the question is, which one do we go to? So let us know in the comments. I think we're going to go Hanson because I've never been to a concert at SeaWorld.
Yes. So they both are basically around the same time. I believe at SeaWorld it's 7, at Universal for the Mardi Gras concerts it's 7:30, but the lineup is really good for SeaWorld this year. We have, like you said, Hanson, there's Colt Ford, there's a Journey tribute band, there's Hoobastank, which if you were like an early 2000s pop music kid, they were huge. Ludacris. It's just a really, really good lineup.
Yeah, it really, and the food, there's some interesting stuff that I've actually never seen at any other festival, because you might not think SeaWorld and festival, but I mean, a cinnamon bun with bacon and a bourbon or whiskey glaze. I mean, that looks good. The steak, chicken tikka masala, which looked interesting. I say interesting because I like chicken tikka masala, but it could go either be really good or really bad.
Yes. No.
Everything else seems a lot of fried food, but of course you're at a theme park, you gotta have a little fried.
Yeah, exactly. And what kind of struck me is we see at all these festivals and theme parks the walking taco, which is essentially they cut the top of a Dorito bag, whatever, and then they fill it with like the traditional taco meat and whatever. But now at SeaWorld, they're doing a walking, I might pronounce this wrong, gyro or gyro, however you pronounce it, but a walking gyro. So they're taking pita chips and then topping it with the traditional meat, onions, tzatziki sauce, and doing a walking gyro, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And also kind of probably, I'm going to say a little healthier.
Yes.
Maybe?
I mean, compared to a lot of the other things like a mango margarita, it's probably one of the better items. And this year there's over 200 items you can choose from. And the prices range from $5 to $15, but I will say, a lot of the plates are kind of on the pricier side, more like 10 and up. So this is definitely one of those cases where you're going to want to get the lanyard.
Yeah.
So a lot of the theme parks do this, but it's basically the sampling lanyard. And yes, you're paying a little bit more up front, but in the long run, if you're strategic, you can save money. And the 10 item sampler here is $70. And if you buy 10 items individually, you're probably going to be spending over $100 with how it's priced this year. So I always recommend a lanyard. And also you can use it over and over and over again. So the leftover credits will roll over to any day that you visit the Seven Seas Food Festival.
I'll see you there.
Yes. And of course there's reserved seating for the concerts, which we might have to look into for Hanson, because as we have seen Hanson at Epcot, it gets very, very popular.
I'm the guy to make the world go round and around. I'm the one that's singing the lyrics, standing up.
Yes, you and many, many other people. So if you want to go visit the Seven Seas Food Festival at SeaWorld Orlando, like I said, it's happening Thursday through Sundays. The booths are open, so they're not 7 days a week. And this will run through May 19th. And it usually runs from 11 a.m. to park close. And again, the concerts are on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. Those are free as long as you don't want to purchase that kind of upcharge reserved seating. And that's hosted in the Bayside Stadium. But definitely get there early, especially if you're hoping to see one of the popular ones. I feel like Ludacris will also potentially be really popular.
Yeah. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Yes, he does it all, I would say.
Yeah.
And then in sticking with Orlando news, this was a long time coming. I think it was just about every single day I saw someone tweet or message Disney asking, when would 1900 Park Fair reopen at Disney's Grand Floridian? Well, we finally have an opening date, and that is April 10th this year. And bookings are going to begin on March 5th. So 1900 Park Fair closed along with the rest of the world in 2000, and it's pretty much, I believe, the last dining location, and some took longer to reopen. the last one to reopen after the pandemic closure. So this was very long awaited for many, many Disney fans. And if you're not familiar, it is a character dining location open for breakfast and dinner. And with the reopening, we're going to see a lot of the familiar favorites like Tigger, Winnie the Pooh, Mary Poppins. But then also with the reopening, they're going to introduce some new characters, including Aladdin, Cinderella, Maribel, and Tiana will be in her new Tiana's Bayou Adventure wardrobe. Have you been to 1900? I don't think you have.
I have not been to 1900. I've been to many character breakfasts with you. At the one at the Swan Dolphin we've been to, and of course, what was
Four
the one?
Seasons.
Four Seasons. That one was incredible.
Yes.
But no, another reason to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is pretty much one of the higher up there ones. Definitely would recommend, not all character dining experiences are on the same playing field, and this is it. And with the announcement, they did confirm that the famous strawberry soup will be returning. So this is a kind of a chilled strawberry soup. I think you would love it. It has been a mainstay of the restaurant for a long time. And then many were relieved to find out that also Big Bertha, which is this antique organ that's kind of been the centerpiece of the resort since 1988, that's also going to be in the main dining room. And then in addition to that, they're going to keep that kind of carousel theme, and there's going to be new murals that were created by Disney artists, which I love. I mean, we loved all the Disney artists. I love going to Festival of the Arts and actually getting to meet them. So I think I'm most hyped to see all these new portraits that were created exclusively for the resort.
And we just got a new Festival of the Arts.
Yes, we did. Shout out to Scooter, the Disney artist who worked on Hunchback. He was just at Festival of the Arts. We purchased the piece, and Disney said it would take over 2 weeks to come, and it was shipped and arrived here in 4 days. So I was like, yes. So hopefully we are going to see, if you look through the story, the new mural with the 1900 Park Fair, that very like antique-y, vintage carousel and everything. I hope they make merch or something with that because it is really cool.
They will.
Yes. Oh, I'm sure. Yes. So reservations open on March 5th. This is probably going to be one of those where it's going to be really hard to get at the start. It's going to be very popular. These can be booked online or within the app. Dining plans are not accepted here, and the restaurant will officially open on April 10th. So see you there. Now, something that you and I know a little bit about. Disney weddings.
Yes. And honestly, when I was looking through this article, you would look, and I'm not just saying this because we're live, you would look great in all of these dresses.
Thank you. So basically, there's a lot of big news out of the Disney wedding sector. They introduced a new line of gowns, which, that's very popular. Disney has worked with Allure Bridal to have these wedding gowns, and there's a whole new set of princess-inspired gowns. There's a new horse-drawn carriage available at the Disneyland Resort if you're getting married over in Anaheim. And there's a brand new wedding venue in Epcot. And we know a thing or two about Epcot because that's where we got married.
March 2nd, 2015. And it's interesting because when I was looking at this, we have said since the very beginning that our Disney wedding was so amazing that at 10 years, we're going to do a vow renewal and we're going to do a dessert party, or there's something that we're going to do to celebrate. And we kept thinking France because that's what we originally did. But I don't know, this new venue is looking really cool.
Yes. If you haven't been yet, I mean, it's pretty fairly new. At Epcot, the World Celebration Gardens have opened, and this is where the Walt statue is. This is also where you have like the beautiful light projection, colorful patterns that are synchronized to music. It's cool during the day, a lot of great space to sit, but at night, this really comes alive and just looks so beautiful with Spaceship Earth in the background. So when I saw this, oh my God, you could do after-hour receptions there. So AKA a dessert party. That might have to happen.
Absolutely. That was we are thinking we didn't talk about this beforehand, everybody. We did not talk about this, but I'm glad we're on the same page because we're married.
Yes. So I'm definitely eyeing that. Again, if you want to look through this, it's the new collection. There's 18 gowns inspired by Snow White, Tiana, Cinderella, and whatnot. They're really beautiful. And I was surprised they start at $1,700. So that was not what I was expecting at all. And then, of course, if you want to go big and do the whole coach thing, they're offering a new coach starting in March at the Disneyland Resort if you are getting married there. And they're also going to be having the Disney Fairy Tale Carriage at Disneyland Paris, which, that could be a good idea.
Yeah.
We do love Disneyland Paris.
Champagne on Main Street. It's one of my favorite things.
Yes. Oh, I was just looking at pictures of that. I love having champagne on Main Street. And then with the wedding news, this was really interesting. I know, traditions are out the window. People could do whatever they want these days. And there is a new villains wedding gown collection that debuted, which is really, really cool. If you're getting married at Disney, you're probably doing some sort of theme. Ours was really subtle. It was just food and wine, basically. But, characters and just heavy themed with it's like kind of like the sky's the limit when you do a Disney wedding. And so if you want to do something villain theme, which we know villains are very popular in the Disney world, there are all sorts of gowns inspired by everyone from Maleficent to Ursula. But I think my favorite was the Jafar, which is kind of a nod to menswear. The top of the dress is almost like a little blazer, but it has this really dramatic neckline. So, you still have that like feminine touch to it. But if you want to have a villain inspired wedding or, get inspired for your own, I highly recommend looking at this collection. And yes, so it should be really fun if you're planning a Disney wedding, and fingers crossed we get to do something for the 10-year, because having a Disney wedding is the best.
It is. Please don't wear one of the black dresses, though. I feel like my superstitions will be.
No. That is not my style.
The evil queen. The evil queen.
Yeah. that is not my style, but I salute anyone that makes it theirs. And now on to something that we've been talking a lot about: Carnival cruises, right? I feel like everyone's talking to us about them.
Yeah, I mean, even over the weekend, a friend of ours in Gatlinburg was like, "I just did this Carnival cruise," and you instantly think, "Oh, I wonder how that is," because sometimes you hear mixed reviews, but apparently the new ships are amazing.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I can't speak to the new ones because I haven't gone on Carnival in a year, but it seems like they're really plowing down and really just having some amazing offerings. I know the new ships like the Mardi Gras people are raving about, and now guests traveling on Carnival with stops in the Caribbean can look forward to a new Celebration Key, which is their new private island in Grand Bahama. And this is going to start in July 2025. Are you a cruise ship private island fan?
I am, but for private island is one of my favorite parts of a cruise because I don't like being on a boat. And I think that's just the full, when you go, Carly takes her sister and her mom a lot of the times when you go on cruises. I sometimes get a little claustrophobic on boats, but the private island, my gosh, I mean, when you have that barbecue with the burger, and then you go to the adults only section, which I saw there's two here. There's one and there's a private one. This looks amazing.
Yes, this does look really good. And I love how, we can't escape the term like portals, with Epic Universe, we have all these portals. Well, Carnival's new exclusive destination is going to also have portals, and this is going to take you off into different kind of themed lands. You mentioned the adults only. You will definitely find me at the adult friendly one that has the freshwater lagoon. And if you see these renderings, it looks so nice.
It looks really, really cool. And again, I'm glad you mentioned like Epic Universe, because the first thing I saw when I saw that tower and saw the slides coming out, and it really has, I mean, it was actually giving me Islands of Adventure vibes.
Yes. From the artist renderings, we won't be able to see this until July of next year, but this looks really highly themed, which I love. There's going to be a welcome portal with live music. There's going to be, of course, family-friendly area, and this is going to be quite expansive with its own freshwater lagoon. There's going to be kind of like a mini water park with racing water slides. And then if you want to, go with the 18 and plus crowd, there's going to be 2 adults-only experiences. One is going to be a premium experience, meaning that we'll have to pay a little bit more to get on there. But I heard infinity pool overlooking the sea, and you had me at that.
By the way, Carly doesn't know I'm going to do this, but this is one thing that will not be on the cruise. For the people that are watching, I'm holding up, you can see this on social media, Carly's Icon of the Seas picture.
Yes. Oh my God. I just did the Crown's Edge on Icon of the Seas. It was wild. I do love the thrilling aspects. I did love putting on like that space suit, but if you want to just kind of like chill, there's also just so many relaxing things you can do. And I feel like that's why I love these private islands, is because you really feel like you're escaping into kind of just, like an abandoned island. I think especially Castaway, Disney's private island, really has that kind of like laid back, like we just stumbled upon this island feel. Celebration Key, Carnivals definitely looks a little bit more built up like that. I would say kind of compared to like Coco, which is Royal Caribbean's private island.
Yeah. Well, nothing's going to beat the Disney. What's that crazy fast slide on Disney's private island?
Oh, you're talking about Pelican Plunge, the one you
swim to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes. I am a sucker for a good slide, so that is one of my favorites. And hopefully I'll get to visit the Celebration Key once it opens next year in July 2025.
I'm going with you to that one.
Yes, you can come. I'll say yes to that. So now we are going to somewhere that is basically in our own backyard. Carowinds has announced their 2024 event programming. So we're Carowinds people. We're Carowinds season pass holders, right?
Yes.
Yes, and we had so much fun last year. We pretty much, I think, hit all the events, including Carnival, where we had some amazing food. We did a lot of Scarowinds. We did Winterfest. So now they're announcing their 2024, and it seems to be a little bit of scaling back on some events and then also changing up. So the big one is for the family-friendly Halloween event, which was the Great Pumpkin. That will be replaced by Tricks and Treats, which Tricks and Treats is a familiar brand with Cedar Fair. I actually went to it a few years ago at California's Great America, which is the Cedar Fair park in North America. Really fun. It is a family-friendly daytime Halloween event. It's no tricks, just treats. So that's similar to what the Great Pumpkin Fest was. So we're going to see if that's going to have some kind of the similar activations or something new. We do know that the parade, which was introduced last year, which we love, we went and saw that quite a few times. Yeah. We do know that the parade will be returning for that, but we don't know what else.
Yeah, one of the interesting things is that unlike certain other Halloween events, Scarowinds you can get into with a normal ticket.
Yes. So that was kind of the big news for this announcement of 2024. So it was a separate ticket up until last year. I believe when the event started, it wasn't, and they made the switch over. A lot of these parks kind of change year to year, depending on, how operations go. And I'm so happy that now it's going to be included in your same admission. So this means you can go day to night. Just from experience, I love Scarowinds. It's one of my favorite Halloween haunt events of the year. But having to exit and then enter with a new ticket caused a lot of backup at the entrance, both with parking and then both just at the ticket gate. So I am just so excited that we'll be able to just kind of go in there and stay. And also the day guest. They introduced kind of like their very own little stay and scream a thing last year with, season pass holders, but you had to enter in by a certain time, and it was like a pretty long window. So I'm so excited that they're going to change it for this year. It returns September 13th. And I think this is just kind of a smart way to get around that, crazy buildup at the entrance.
Yeah. And I know that it doesn't look like there's going to be any new rides this year, which is okay because they've had a busy couple of years, but I really do hope, and you'll probably agree. I hope we get a couple new houses this year.
Yes. So, a lot of the houses kind of stick up year round. The Meat Market one of our favorites. But yes, I'm hoping for some new ones. We're not sure. Everything is kind of up in the air now with that merger with Six Flags. We still don't know what that will mean, but we do know that Scarowinds is coming back. Also, we love Winterfest. It is one of the most amazing holiday celebrations. It's all included with the ticket. There's so much roaming entertainment. I can't even really emphasize how much roaming entertainment. Yeah.
And it snows. You look up and it's snowing and they're playing music.
It snows. There's just like dozens and dozens of entertainers everywhere saying happy holidays. It is truly magical, included with the ticket, and they run some really good specials. This is going to be returning select nights November 15th to December 31st. So go on over, check out our article, and that will include all the dates, and we'll keep you posted if we hear about the return of Carnival, which I hope it comes back because that food was Chef's kiss.
So good. And the chef was literally, remember, the chef was out there. Like,
Yes.
meeting people.
Yes, it was really awesome last year. So hopefully that'll come back. If not, we'll have the memories, and we'll definitely be at Carowinds and Winterfest, spending our time. And speaking of Epic, some of the last news in our queue, Disney has bought a $1.5 billion stake in Fortnite. So that's the company that owns it is called Epic Games. Their biggest, obviously, is Fortnite. And I am not a gamer. You are not a gamer.
No.
But this is very exciting for those that are gamers, because this means all of Disney's most popular franchises, including Marvel, Pixar, this could be integrated into Epic Games. So I know this is a very big deal because we have kind of the biggest, storytelling company in the world, and now we can have video games. Star Wars too.
Yeah, and it's funny because I thought about it when I heard the announcement. I was like, is now the time where I become a gamer, or I try to become a gamer? And
I think we've tried before.
and then I just imagined us like with the headsets on, and I was like, no, I think we're gonna stick to the parks.
No, yeah, exactly. We'll stick to the parks, but if you want to virtually visit the parks in the concept art that was released, there was quite a lot of little Easter eggs you can find in there. There was Flo's V8 Cafe from Cars, Star Wars, there was Space Mountain, there was even like a Disney Cruise Line port. So
and Star Tower.
What this
Star
means,
Tower was up there too.
Yes, yeah. So what this means, we don't know just yet. You could read the full announcement over on our website, but this was part of the earnings call from last week, and this is kind of one of the biggest news that CEO Bob Iger shared. Yes, so it was kind of a light week with news, but right now we're going to take a break before our main attraction and hear a word from our sponsor.
The Attractions Podcast is brought to you by MEI and MEI-Travel. Whether your next vacation is a magical trip to the theme parks, an exciting adventure to the pyramids of Egypt, or just a relaxing cruise on the turquoise waters of the Bahamas, MEI-Travel provides premium service and expert advice to help you get the most of your vacation. They are always free of any hidden fees or costs to you. Visit them at MEI-Travel.com.
It's time for the main attraction.
So our main attraction this week, we are traveling all the way over to my bucket list place, Tokyo Disneyland. One day we're going to get there.
I know, we are. Fingers crossed. I'm sure it'll happen within the next couple of years.
Yeah, so new for this year, they're doing this Disney Palooza, which kicked off with Minnie Mouse. And so basically they transformed the park, dining locations, hotels with activations specifically around a specific character. It was Minnie Mouse first, and now we have Donald Duck, and they're going to be transforming Tokyo Disneyland into Donald Quacky Duck City. It's hard to say.
What you got to just look at this and go, this is total Tokyo Disneyland. Like, this is something.
100%.
This is such. I mean, it's totally like, if you would have said to me like, where is this? And I didn't know which park, I would have instantly within 2 seconds at Tokyo.
Yes. This has a kawaii written all over it. They love Donald Duck over there. One of like the most famous snacks at Tokyo Disneyland is this Donald Duck life preserver or life raft shrimp bun. So it's like one of the most photographed snacks over there. So it's no surprise that he is getting his time in the sun. And this is going to take place at Tokyo Disneyland Park from April 9th through June 30th. And we're talking Donald-focused decor, food, entertainment. And then also he will be bringing along a character that we finally got to meet last year. And that is Pete. So he debuted at Mickey's Toontown in California early last year. I was there. People were losing their mind. And he's also going to be a part of Donald Quacky Duck City. That's a hard one.
This whole thing, if you're a fan of like alternate universes and like what would things be like what would have it been like if the first character Walt created was Donald Duck? This is probably would have been, that was the first thing I thought of when I saw the grass outside of Tokyo.
Yes.
With Donald's face on it. I was like, this is almost like weird.
Yes. Oh my God. I thought the same thing
cool
too.
way.
Yeah. So right outside World Bazaar, you have that big grassy hub and it, has Mickey's face. This is going to be taken over and it's going to have Donald Duck's face. And I thought the same thing. Like, this is truly a bizarre thing. He's going to be, once you get into the World Bazaar, there's going to be a gold statue of Donald throughout. I see in the artist renderings kind of like, almost looks like colorful chalk work that says like, welcome to Duck City. And the main event will be a new parade entitled the Quacky Celebration, Donald the Legend.
And there's food too, which, by the
Yeah.
way, I did look. I specifically was like, I really hope there's no duck dishes, because that would have been. Really...
There is.
There is.
There is. Yes.
How did I miss that? That was
Yes.
like when you went to Peppa Pig. I was like, I hope there's not going to.
And there wasn't. Yeah. So there's all sorts of drinks in the park, in the hotels. There's like a jelly drink with Donald on it. Really cool looking ice cream sundaes. And then at Tokyo Disney Hotel at Kana, they're going to be serving, it's kind of like a little bit of an upscale spot, duck. So there'll be like a salmon entree, a shellfish, and duck. Whoever wrote this said, don't tell Donald.
It's like the Mexico boat ride. Have you seen a duck and they freak out?
I know.
Wow.
Yes. Yes, so there will be duck as part of the celebration, but I mean, I think that's just, normal as part of the food over there. I love duck. Don't tell Donald. There's a lot of really cool beverages. That's kind of what I'm interested in. There's also some food at the Disney Ambassador Hotel, over at Chef Mickey, the Hyperion Lounge, a lot of blue drinks. So if you are not a fan of blue carousel, which I'm assuming is what these drinks are made of, you might want to avoid them. And then also, if you dine at the specialty restaurants, there's going to be collectible coasters that have Quacky Duck City artwork on it. And that is what I would be after, because I love collecting coasters.
Yeah. It's a very pop art kind of looking logo and stuff. It's cool.
It is really cool. And then if you want to, if you're staying over and you want to extend it into your room, you can have a themed room at the Disney Ambassador Hotel. I just did this on the Pixar Day at Sea Cruise, and it really was fun. I wasn't sure what to expect, because you're like, okay, they're just adding some decor. No, they really do a nice job with it. You can keep everything that they bring in there, and it's just fun. And, this is coinciding with Donald's 90th birthday, which is on June 9th. And this is his first time appearing was in The Wise Little Hen, which was part of Walt Disney's Silly Symphony series. You could watch it on Disney Plus. And of course, now is the time to plan a Tokyo Disney trip, as they are getting ready to celebrate the grand opening of the edition of Fantasy Springs, which I cannot wait to visit. We're going to have a Peter Pan land, a Tangled land, and a Frozen Kingdom. So that looks amazing. And that's on top of kind of already the amazing lineup of the year, which includes the final farewell to Space Mountain over there as we know it.
It's becoming Duck Mountain, right?
Yeah. They're going to knock it down and build a big like duck butt, and that's what the roller coaster will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you are visiting Tokyo Disney, Minnie's version will be going through March 19th. That's called Minnie's Funderland before Donald kicks off. And then you can also catch the tail end of the resort's 40th anniversary, which has a whole slew of amazing merchandise and snacks. And that is going to be going through March 31st. And of course, if you're planning a trip like that, it's probably best to go through someone that's knowledgeable, like MEI and Mouse Fan Travel, because that is a massive undertaking. And Disneyland tickets and hotels work way different than we're used to. If you're used to Walt Disney World and Disneyland, tickets open up the date specific. So you're going to want to get a reputable travel agent to help you do that. Yes. So we'll go back and look through our comments, say hello to everyone. Michael Bingham voted Bare Naked Ladies.
It's been what? That's my Michael. That is actually my go-to karaoke song.
I know, it's so good. It's so hard. We have them and Hanson the same night, so that's going to be a hard one to choose between. And Weiser's here. Mr. Fulton, I'm sorry about your game losses. And Weiser asked where Seth is on an MSC cruise at a Port Canaveral with his wife. So I saw that he was posting a little bit. I am excited to hear about him. That's one line that we haven't done.
Yeah. We've done. I mean, you've done so many.
I've heard good things. It's a European line that's really kind of expanded in the States. So I'm excited to hear his thoughts and then maybe go on one for myself.
And I know this is not theme park related, but I would like to take an Alaskan cruise.
Oh, same. Yeah. So Disney Cruise Line has some really good Alaskan sailings. And then that's also where you could see Mickey and Minnie in their snow outfits. And it's really, yeah, I mean, like I would go just for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So thank you all for tuning in this week. Thank you, Adam, for joining me.
Absolutely. I will see you at home.
Yes, you will see me at home. This week, we are headed to Dollywood. So Dollywood doesn't open for the season until March 8th, but I'm going to be sharing on attractions a little preview and a first look at a brand new attraction that is coming to the park this May. It's called the Dolly Parton Experience. So it's going to be a large exhibit showcasing all different aspects of Dolly's life, different chapters, her fashion, her family, the music, of course. So tune in on Thursday because I'm going to be sharing over on all the attraction social medias all the fun on that. And until then, Adam, where can folks find you if they want to keep up with you?
All socials at Adam Wurtzel. Watch me on Nashville Insider, airs all across America, nashvilleinsider.tv/affiliates to find out where. And you can find me in photos with Carly on her socials as well.
Yes. So hopefully we'll have some Mardi Gras fun together in the coming weeks. And if you want to find me, I'm Adventures by Carly on Instagram and on X at Carly Caramana. And be sure to follow all of us at Attractions at attractionsmagazine.com. And if you search Attractions Magazine on your favorite social media accounts. So until next week, I hope you all stay safe out there, try something new, but most importantly, have fun while you're doing it. We'll see you next week. Bye.